DraftNasty.com recently trekked down to Tallahassee, Florida to sit down with the coaching legend, former Florida State coach Bobby Bowden. There's so much we had to learn, and we did learn on the way. What about the fact that after 389 career wins, he nearly escaped death twice by turning his back on other job opportunities? The fans, the rich tradition, he leaves so much behind. And he still wonders, was there a little bit more left to give?
You know, talking about earlier, the first chapter of the book, you talk a little bit about what happened last year at Florida State. And I guess I want to get into really the whole premise behind it, because you were under the impression that you might get a chance to come back one more year. And really, I mean, after what was an inspiring performance by your team to win a bowl game, you kind of got railroaded a little bit. Now, talk a little bit about that and how that made you feel overall, because you talked about it in your book.
Well, as the season progressed, there was a lot of unrest because we had lost games we should have won. We lost a couple we should have won, and so there was some outcry, especially by the head of our trustees. You know, Bobby this ought to be his last year, and so I talked to the president and at times and about not leaving, and so then after the Florida game.
Now let's recap that now too before you move on. The president, for all those who don't know, actually T.K. Winterthal was his name, if I'm not mistaken.
I coached him.
You coached him, and he was a receiver for you.
He had played receiver for me right after Bolitnikoff. I coached him. He's always stood behind me pretty good. And so, but he would come tell me there's some discontent. Now I'm behind you, but there's some discontent, you know. And so, and then it came out in the press, you know, some of the trustees made a statement that ought to be my last year. He tried to be nice about it. And so anyway, so then we play the Florida ball game. Well, it just happens that our president doesn't go to the game, which I don't blame him. But he's going to have a bunch of those trustees at his house.
Right.
So I don't know what they were doing. They were weighing whether I ought to come back or not, you know. And so we played the ball game. They beat us pretty doggone good. And so I knew, I said, there's going to be some controversy. So I came out with a statement immediately. I want to come back next year. I wanted to leave it where they are. I'm planning on coming back next year. I want to come back. I didn't want one more year, because everything was set up for Jimbo to take over 2011. Why did they change their mind all of a sudden? You know, but they did. So anyway, the president came to see me after that Florida game, and he told me that he walked in my office. He said, "This ain't gonna be pretty." Well, I didn't think, I don't care how ugly it is, y'all gonna do nothing.
Right.
And he said, they gave me, the coach says, you can stay as an ambassador. This is what the trustees said, you can stay as an ambassador coach. What is that? Well, you can't go out on the field. Now, can you imagine playing for a coach you can't go out on the field? I said, well, that's out. Forget that one. What's the next option? Next option is they ain't gonna renew your contract. So I resigned.
I mean, I guess the thing that kind of that confused me a little bit on the situation was classic move by you to allow Fisher to say, okay, you got to be the coach in waiting, but yet maybe not reciprocated on the other end. And I mean, obviously, you're not harboring those sentiments right now,
well, they did that. I had nothing to do with the.
I mean, because I was going to ask you, why would you agree to those terms? Because it seemed like a peculiar situation to me.
Well, because I could feel my power slipping away 2 and 3 years even before that. I could tell they were asking other people for questions instead of me. You know, I could feel it slipping away, and so they came to me and said, we're going to name a coach in waiting. And so Jimbo's the logical guy, and so I went along with it, and poor Jimbo got caught right in the middle of it. You know, and I don't blame him at all. But they said they had it set up where he'd get $5 million in 2011. Okay, that gives me one more year. That's all I want. And I told him I don't want to stay for one more year. I'm 80. I don't want to stay for one more year. And I kind of patterned my life.